just met Jeff Brom in the offense, but it looks like Louisville's been really good defensively. What do you see when you look at them on the film?
Very disciplined. Very disciplined defense, well coached. I mean, these guys, you can see they had a little bit of a shift from when they were at Purdue to the first few games to a couple games in, they started to shift and do a little bit more up front in terms of moving parts, and they do a very nice job disguising some coverages. They mix in their 3 deeps and cover ones. They'll pop a cover 2 on you every now and again, a normal down to distance. They do a good job with some stems from 4 down to 3 down to 3 down to 4 down. They do a nice job, and they're playing collectively. You see a unit run to the football. They get out of the stack incredibly well on screens. When the quarterback breaks contain, you can see them do a great job of straining. It's a unit that you can really tell is playing together and playing as one. A lot of respect for that defensive unit.
Liam, they love to bring all kinds of pressure. They love to, put, DBs and tight coverage and stuff like that and bring heat. How have you guys handled that kind of a defense so far?
Well, I think you'd probably say inconsistently. It's just one of those things where if we can get off press and we can do a great job with hand-to-hand combat, making contested catches, protecting the quarterback, good things should happen because they will challenge you on the perimeter. They'll challenge you. They are not afraid to get in your face and play press man coverage, as you mentioned. They'll bring safeties on pressures, corners on pressures. They'll bring 5-man rush from a jam front structure. And the rusher number 9, defensive end's a heck of a football player. They play with a motor. To say we've been great against those defenses, I can't really say because it's probably been inconsistent versus most defenses. But I do think it's a great opportunity for our guys to play in a rivalry game against an opponent that's a top 10 defense or a top 10 team in the country, as well as a top 20 defense overall in the country. It's a great challenge for our guys to come in and get on the road and win again, hopefully.
How do you use the emotions of a rivalry game without letting it turn into penalties or something like that?
I would hope at this point that it would be more than that. I would hope. You go into a game like this where Kentucky's been on the winning side of things, but we aren't, I guess you could say, as good as them this year. We have to prove it, but they also have to beat us as well, right? It's one of those things where it's a rivalry game. Both teams feel like they have a little bit of an upper hand. They're better than us statistically or in the rankings. We've had more wins in the cup. So it's one of those things. I think there's probably a mutual respect for where both teams are at because of us winning the majority of the games recently, but them having a better record in ranking. So I would hope that it wouldn't become one of those kind of games. We need to go in there and focus on us and compete, but also we need to go in there with our hair on fire. And have the right mentality and the right attitude of going in on the road again to go play a very quality opponent.
Liam, obviously you've got to do what you can to score points and win this week, but we're also getting to that kind of season-long evaluation, portal season coming up. What 1 or 2 things with the offense this year surprised you that you have to get addressed over the next month or whatever?
I think a leadership standpoint, we need very consistent leadership in terms of the day-to-day process, whether that be from us as coaches, but at some point it really has to come from the players to take it over and to be the guys that are holding each other accountable. Man, if we have an MA in practice, well, it shouldn't be us as coaches always having to reload the play or holler about the issue. At some point, you want good teams, and good teams are typically player-led. And we would love for that to occur and for somebody to really emerge to take this thing over and to truly fix the issues, right? A lot of the issues that, hey, you correct a mistake, but ultimately it takes accountability and it takes guys looking each other in the eyes to make it right. And so that's one thing, and I think that we need to get bigger, faster, and stronger. We need to get bigger, faster, stronger as a unit. At the skill positions, we need to continue to grow and develop. We need to get more physically dominant up front and continue to grow and get back to that mentality that we can wear you out. And that's got to be who we are, right? We're not going to sit here and chuck it around 50 times a game. And we also have to look at, as a staff, how can we play faster? How can we maybe take this offense, mold it more into a no-huddle system, get more plays, play faster, play with more tempo, do what we're ultimately trying to get done, schematically, but also how do we change it up to play with more tempo, spread things out a little bit more, get your athletes in space while still trying to be physical in the run game.
Liam, the way you described Louisville's defense sounds like there will be some shots to be taken down the field. Those haven't really connected all season.
No.
What has to happen for like Devin and Barryon or anyone else to get on the same page with it?
I think when you run a post or a go, you have to win on that route before you get your head and eyes up and really track the football. And I also think from a quarterback standpoint, a launch doesn't, a post doesn't have to be a launch shot, right? It doesn't have to be a 60-yard pass. It can be a 50-yarder or a 42-yarder, and the ball doesn't have to be launched down the field in order for us to complete a post or a go or something like that. And you just don't get that all the time in practice, right? You don't get a look where a defender is right on the player on a post route right here where you have to make a perfect throw. Well, because a receiver beats our scout team defensive back by 10 yards. So sometimes it's just unrealistic that what you get in practice doesn't translate to the game because the look might not be the same. And when it comes to that, it comes down to players making a play, making a throw, making a catch, and making a play. I mean, you look at the explosive reel around the country every week. We look at it every single week. And a lot of it is just guys going up and making a play. And, making a throw, making a catch, making a run. Like Ray Davis last week, making a spin move, breaking a tackle. I mean, that's football. That's football, and we need more of that.
Liam, as you look back on since you went up to the booth, has that gone like you hoped it would be over the course of the year?
I guess I haven't truly evaluated it as much. I think it's been, unsuccessful, because we haven't been as successful. But I do think for our group, the group that we have right now, it's still the best thing. It's just, I think that when you're away from them and they can maybe not see you, whether it's good or bad, and feed off you, I think sometimes that's the best thing. And for this group, I still do think it's the best thing. Whether that's going to be the same way next year or not, I can't say that's something Coach and I will talk, especially if we do try to get more up tempo and play faster. I could see myself coming down for sure.
Do you you have a game left with a bowl game, but you talked about the inconsistencies. Do you sense among the guys that, hey, this is it, this is our chance to show we're better than what we've shown?
Yeah, I think we've practiced really well, as hard as that is to probably hear from your guys' standpoint. Our kids have not wavered. They have not sat there and not practiced hard or not gone hard. We get a lot of reps in practice. Like, we don't just walk through at this point in the season. We've tried to take it back a little bit, but we've still gone hard and we still practice hard. And our kids have not shied away from that. And so I've been really proud of that. It has not always shown consistently on Saturdays, and that's the unfortunate part. That's the part that you would love for it to come to life more consistently, especially in a game like last weekend where we had an opportunity to choke them out and we weren't able to do it.
Liam, Isaiah played really well for you the last time you were here.
Yeah.
Kind of emerged in this last game. What's he doing to stay sharp?
Isaiah's just a great kid, man. I mean, he's always been. He's just sometimes, when you run 55, 60 plays max in a game and you're living in 11 and 12 and 21 pony, 21 personnel, and you've got Dingle, you've got Bates, you've got Caddis, you've got different guys, and sometimes roles get lost, and Zaya's never wavered. Another kid that has just done his job consistently and just wants to help the team win. And got an opportunity last week. We were really trying to make that opportunity come to life last week. He did a great job on third down for us. He did a great job in the run game for us. And I think that role will continue to expand through this weekend as we go into the bowl game.